So Jahred, what's up?
What's up, bro?
I'm DJ Droopy. We're sitting here with Jahred from Hed p.e. He's chowing down on some Tostitos.
Hold on.
Gotta put the sunglasses on.
The chips and the glasses will make the interview a lot better.
Last time I spoke with you back here on the back of your bus, you had a bunch of Pampers baby diapers sitting over here. So I guess this time we're changing it up with the munchies and sunglasses.
That's funny.
So you're out on the Strange Noise tour right now.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's amazing. We just got done with Florida, where hed p.e. has a lot of love in Florida. And then, of course, we did Houston last night, which was huge. And then we're glad to be in Dallas, so we're just glad to be back on the road in the States, because this is our first U.S. tour of 2010.
What about the bands, the acts you guys got out on tour? You're out with Big B, Richter, Cut.
Yeah, a bunch of rappers. It's great. It's one thing I always wanted to be, was a hardcore band on tour with a bunch of hip-hop artists. That's really fun for me, you know. So I like all the artists too. Cut, Calvin, and Richter, Big B. I'm a fan of all their music. So
Major Pain to Indie Freedom, your greatest hits on Suburban Noise Records, just dropped.
I prefer to call it a compilation.
Compilation. Why is that? What's the difference?
Well, hits. I mean, what is the hits? Got to probably be much, you know, much bigger on the mainstream tip.
So your compilation CD.
Yeah.
How's that been?
It's good. You know, it's just 10 years of our music, and we're really stoked about being able to just put it out, you know, with kind of the free DVD on there. And then, of course, we've also got an all-original album with all original material coming out in October.
October. What's that going to be called? Do you have a name for it yet?
Truth Rising.
Truth Rising. What can we expect from the new album?
It's really heavy.
Heavy.
What I mean, it still has a lot of hardcore punk influence, but it's got a lot of heavy metal influence, like fast kick drums and shredding leads and stuff. And then, of course, there's the hip hop, and there's some ska in there too. But you know,
lyrically, is this going to take a different step from some of the older albums, or is it going to be along the same lines?
I'd say lyrically, it's still dealing with the truth movement, you know. It's still, which for me is a lifestyle album, you know. It's more than, it's no gimmicks here for me. It's like, my lifestyle is all about this whole thing. And that's what the music's about, is everything that I throw my life into. You know, just the idea of controlling your own destiny and knowing the world around you and the secret history of the planet, and, you know, truth about extraterrestrials and free energy and just all of these things that I'm so into in my personal life, I put into the music. So this album's more of that. Yeah.
Speaking of free energy, we got the BP oil spill going on here in the Gulf.
Hopefully they're about to cap it, but it is a terrible thing.
Have you guys heard anything about the boycott that, I guess, Rise Against started with all the bands on tour this summer, that they're touring with not using BP products on any of their buses or vans?
That's a great idea, you know. I think it's a great idea. You know, it's things like when you know that a country like Brazil uses like 80% ethanol, you know, and doesn't import any fucking oil. You know, we could grow our own shit. And if the truth about free energy technology and running cars on water and all that, you know, that's right there for us too. So there needs to be a big change in the policy.
You mentioned the truth movement earlier. Obama's been in office for a year and a half now, almost. What's your take on it now? Is it still the same?
I think he's doing a great job.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because I'm a fan of health insurance, because I've traveled the world and I've seen that other countries have a more advanced system of health insurance, and I just would like to see my own country come up to speed with European countries and most the rest of the world, you know. So he took on the medical insurance industries, which was a huge thing. You know, they tried to defeat him, spending millions of dollars a day by telling lies about death panels and everything else. Most people don't get to travel or anything, so they don't realize that the rest of the world has much better healthcare systems than we've even had. So a lot of people buy into all the scare tactics. But for me, I was glad to see at least he pushed something through, and now the Wall Street reform is coming through. But which is great too, because then he's like, you know, attacking the system right where the core is, which really is insurance and Wall Street bankers. So, but it's not a perfect thing that he's doing, because he is dealing with politics, you know. And if anybody wants to study and look up the executive decisions that Obama has done, they're really far-reaching, but some things have to be, you know, put through the House and the Congress and everything else, so they get a little bit watered down. But there's strides in a better direction. Like, for anyone to say that it's worse than Nazi Bush and fascist Cheney is just out of their fucking mind. Okay, there's just no possible way. Like, the Bush-Cheney thing was the culmination of years and years of fascism and Nazi sympathizers, you know. It's the right wing and the neocons that are really have the wrong idea about where the future is headed for humanity, you know. So
what do you think about Glenn Beck going on TV every day and barking about communists?
I think it's what I call it is like doublespeak, like from that book 1984. It's Orwellian. It's like, it's actually, the fascists are calling the lefty a fascist when fascism is a right-wing thing, you know. And it's like communism, it's like, does anybody know what true communism really is? It absolutely doesn't. To me, it's laughable and scary at the same time. Because Glenn Beck, to me, is just a complete fear-mongerer. And he just stirs up, like, angry, insecure, older white people, mostly, from what I can see, fearful of change and whatever. So it's like, you know, to compare Obama's politics to communism is so ridiculously off the charts. On the side of fear-mongering, just to like stir up people who never liked him in the first place. You know, what you've got is the fact that Obama got voted in, and the people who didn't want him in office just can't accept it, you know. And so you've got the Republicans who, to make Obama look bad, don't want any of his policies brought through anyway, because they might work. And if they do work, well then they'll never get power back anyway, which they're not going to get anyway, because the Republican Party's just lost, and coming out into the open, like supporting BP, you know, like apologizing to BP, supporting big business. The Republican Party, by and large, you know, and I've always been this guy who's like, I don't like labels, but now it's just coming to the surface, you know. I'll never toe the party line, but it's like Republicans represent rich people, and Democrats represent the middle class. You know, that's just what it seems like to me.